Informed.
Demerara and Essequibo 99.1 FM.
Burby's 99.5 FM. Kaieteur Radio.
Good day. Welcome to your news at noon on Kaieteur Radio. I'm Kevin Smith, and in your news today, Trinidadian energy strategist Anthony Paul believes the provisions in the 2016 production sharing agreement Guyana signed with ExxonMobil regarding the recovery of costs in dispute are in keeping with the one-sided nature of the contract. The PSA allows Exxon to recover sums flagged by an audit that are deemed unacceptable until the dispute is resolved between the parties. Upon resolving the dispute through arbitration by an international body, Guyana can be repaid with interest, according to the agreement. The Trinidad and Tobago expert said that contracts generally make provisions for the finalization of disagreement by allowing for such individual areas of disagreement to be set aside until they are later resolved. In the meantime, those areas that are agreed upon are dispensed with. Paul pointed out that Trinidad and Tobago asserted its sovereignty in cost recovery by assigning the minister responsible for finance as the final arbiter in all matters related to taxation, including cost recovery. The specialist explained that oil companies very frequently attempt to force countries into international arbitration, fully cognizant of the fact that governments like those in the Caribbean cannot afford the process, so avoid it, even at a loss. And the fraud trial for former Finance Minister Winston Jordan, who was charged for allegedly selling a state property by BK Marines Limited at a price that was grossly undervalued, was deferred to April 24th. The trial was scheduled to commence on April 11th before Senior Magistrate Leron Daly at the Georgetown Magistrates Courts. However, on that date, the trial was set for April 24th. The former Minister of South Rhymeville, Georgetown, made his first court appearance since December 2021 for the offense before Chief Magistrate Ann McLennan and was placed on $3 million bail. It is alleged that the former minister acted recklessly when he signed NISL Order No. 50 of 2020, transferring to and vesting in BK Marines, Inc., mud lot situated at North Commingsburg, Georgetown, being over 2.5 million. That should be 2.553 acres by paying $20.2 million for a property valued over $5 billion. And being sold at a price that was grossly undervalued to such a degree as to amount to an abuse of the public trust and without reasonable excuse or justification. A team comprising some 20 technical officers from the Guyana Revenue Authority and the Natural Resources Ministry has been working behind the scenes to ensure the country's first audit report on expenses in the Stabroek Block captures every unsound financial practice. To ensure no stone is left unturned, the local team led by GRA is meticulously reviewing the audit findings of IHS Markit, which was hired in 2019 to audit $1.6 billion in costs incurred by ExxonMobil affiliate ESSO and its partners Hess and Sinnock. One of the key findings under discussion between IHS and Guyana's technical team pertains to bills Exxon racked up with related companies. According to a letter, IHS accepted more than 50% of the related party costs on the grounds that there was adequate documentation provided. Those intercompany costs total $48.4 million. Guyana's technical officers, specifically those at GRA, were keen to note that more effort should have been done on the part of IHS. And the government is once again being accused of dragging its feet on implementing measures to correct the repeated skullduggery perpetuated at the level of state agencies. That should be perpetrated, as highlighted by the Auditor General's report. This is owing to its failure to adhere to the parliamentary standing orders, which stipulate that recommendations to help address those irregularities are to be made via a Treasury memorandum laid in the Parliament by the Minister of Finance. The Treasury Memorandum contains recommendations to provide guidance to accounting officers to address the repeated financial and managerial anomalies that were identified by the Auditor General. Parliamentary Standing Order 823 specifies that within 90 days of the presentation of a report from the Public Accounts Committee, the government shall table its Treasury Memorandum with the recommendations. However, it has been 117 days since the adoption of the report, and the government is yet to table its Treasury Memorandum for that report. You're listening to Kaieteur Radio, and this is your news at noon. We'll return shortly after the break.
If something doesn't look right, then there is something wrong. And if you suspect child abuse, then you must report it to the Child Care and Protection Agency. During this time more than ever, we have to be the eyes and ears of abused children across the country. So if you see it, or you know it, or even if you just think it's child abuse, then you must report it to the police or call the CPA hotline on 227-0979.
A message from the Child Care and Protection Agency, Ministry of Human Services and Social Security, and UNICEF.
Welcome back. Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs Anil Nandlal has said that there is no turning back from the $35.4 million contract signed for the implementation of the single electronic identification system. The Attorney General was at the time addressing the mounting calls by the main opposition parties and some civil society groups for the single-sourced contract to be cancelled. The government has been accused of handpicking the German contractor Veridos for the project based on the recommendation of Sheikh Ahmed Al Maktoum of the United Arab Emirates, who was involved in the sale of the controversial Sputnik vaccines to Guyana. A lone gunman on Tuesday evening riddled the Eccles home and bus of a well-known photographer, Kieron Bruce. CCTV cameras mounted on the photographer's home captured the gunman pulling up on a motorcycle around 22 hours 30. The gunman dismounted the bike and walked up to Bruce's fence and started shooting. The man reportedly fired at least 8 shots before riding away on his motorcycle. Bruce, his wife, and 4-year-old son were home at the time and luckily escaped unharmed. Bruce said that he is in the process of enhancing footage from his security cameras to get a proper image of the gunman. Bruce believes, however, that the gunman was paid to shoot at his house. And a local singer, Dion D'Souza, reportedly died on Sunday while tuning his guitar for a performance at the annual Rupununi Rodeo celebrations in Latham Region 9, as his relatives stated in a Facebook post. D'Souza is an indigenous singer popularly known for his country-style singing. He had been performing his songs for years at the rodeos since his return from Venezuela a few years ago. He was scheduled to perform on Sunday night, but unfortunately died hours before his concert. D'Souza is originally from Maruca, Region 1, and has been singing since his youth. He had migrated to Venezuela and had even served as a captain of an indigenous Venezuelan village called San Flaviano. And in other news, the Guyana Press Association will be holding its general meeting and election on Sunday, May 14th, at the Theatre Guild, Parade Street, Kingston. Commencement time is 12 hours. To be eligible to vote, one must be a member of the association for continuous 3 years or more, and their membership dues must be updated. Eligible members are asked to kindly pay their dues on or before May 6th. Payments can be made to the Secretary Sveltana Abrams. COVID-19 protocols, inclusive of physical distancing, mask wearing, and sanitation, are required. And that does it for your main newscast for today. I'm Kevin Smith. Thank you for listening. And of course, do stay tuned to Kaieteur Radio.
Want value for your advertising dollar? Then place your ads on Kaieteur Radio's newscasts. Streamed live on 6 different mediums, reaching hundreds of thousands. Advertise today and watch your dollar grow. Call us on 225-8465 or 226-8210 today.
I thought I was reading those words from President Ali, Jagdeo, or Norton's mouth, who's selling out this country. Never expected it was coming from a man representing the business sector of this country, knowing how wounded this country is with that crooked contract. He even went further to give an example. He said, if a business makes a deal to buy pepper from a farmer at $300 a pound, it would be improper for the farmer to suddenly expect more because the price of pepper gone up. This man got to be out of his mind to tell a farmer he mustn't ask for more on his pepper when the price for fertilizer gone up, workmanship gone up, fuel price gone up, and that farmer mustn't ask for more on his pepper. He must sell the pepper at the same price and suffer the losses. That is what Timothy Tucker, representing the business sector, telling us there. And anybody who asks for change in price or renegotiation is a hustler, according to Timothy Tucker, as he went on in his article. He or we agree $300 pound, and we must supply him for $300 pound, although the price gone up all over the world. He alone must make money, and the pepper must stick to the contract price with the farmer. Would you tie business with anyone that way, Timothy, to sell peppers? Where you can't raise the price if it goes up? I don't know. I don't think so. Let me say this. Your eyes pass every single Guyanese to call us lowlife, calling for a change in that lopsided Exxon contract. Let me ask this. Have you secured yourself with a few contracts in the oil sector that you're now dancing to the tune to upkeep them? I don't know. I'm just asking. I know. We live in a hustling world, Timothy. And we are dealing with hustlers. But always remember, the purpose of life is to make others happy too. And if you can't do that, don't hurt them. Don't let them go hungry with pain for your personal gain. Have a nice day. Glenlal and the Guyanese people was never and will never be low lives. Put that in your pipe and smoke it, Timothy. The fight continues whether you, the leaders of this land, or ExxonMobil like it or not. This is a message from Glenn Lal. Please join me every Monday, Wednesdays, and Friday, 7:20 on the Kaieteur Radio, and let's continue this discussion.
I'm here say watching the select out. I'm here say K Vibes King.
In front of everybody.